Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer!
Hey everybody, and welcome to another fun, fantastic Ask an Engineer. We're still broadcasting live from downtown Manhattan, the financial district. I'm Lady Ada, the engineer. With me is AdaBot.
Hello.
We also have special guest, the printer, who will be joining us from right over there. We have a lot of fun stuff on tonight's show, lots of fun new products, demos, giveaways, all sorts of good stuff.
That's right.
That was on tonight's show.
Okay, on tonight's show, the special guest is our tweeting printer. If you tweet anything that says Adafruit on it,
at Adafruit,
pound Adafruit,
all that stuff,
it'll be printing out. So it's going to be our special guest throughout the night.
Disembodied hands.
Tweeting printer has its own.
You can see all the tweets that we've been printing out.
All right, we're going to talk about the show and tell and all the wonderful things that people showed off. Big news right now. Adafruit's in New York Times in print. We'll talk about that. We have some interesting news from the world of Arduino. They have a new office. There's a new sections on the Adafruit blog. We'll be talking about a little bit of coloring book stuff and celebrating Hertz.
Hertz.
We have a new update to our YouTube section.
Yay, YouTube.
We've got Cats of Engineering updates. We've got some open source upgrade badges.
Was that a switching Siamese?
Yeah. Ask an Educator. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to go over my article that I done make, the unspoken rules of open source hardware, and some fun stuff. We have new products.
New.
So we'll talk about the update to Circuit Playground. We've got Beagle Bones back in stock. We've got these OLEDs back in stock. We've got badges. We've got a video of one of the badges because it glows. We've got a BSD badge, VHV badge. We have a new product that just came out, the Perma Proto Minty size. Yeah. We've got some of these, what's the
These are
best?
terminal blocks.
Terminal blocks. I always call them like screw things.
Screw jacks, terminal blocks.
We'll talk about our big product announcement of the week and the one that's shipping now, which is our
Internet of Things
printer. All right. We'll have a little bit of top secret stuff, maybe. We'll answer your questions. We'll have a trivia question. We'll have that all, and a cat, all on Ask an Engineer. Okay. So here we go.
So I have to share the screen this time with our friend the printer, who actually just printed out a couple tweets.
Yeah.
We have it set up so it prints every 30 seconds. Any tweets from the last 30 seconds, it'll print up to 3 of them. So tweet throughout the day to see.
Yeah.
And I got some extra paper here too, in case we need to refill.
Yeah, we got it going on here.
We may need to refill.
Yeah, this has been going a lot, so we just.
I had this on all weekend. I wanted to make sure it had a good longevity test. So I had it on for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, Becky had it here.
Becky had it on. I had it on my desk.
Let's real quick start off with the
code.
The code is Hertz.
10% off.
10% off many things,
including
the Internet of Things printer.
This printer kit.
Yeah. So Hertz, because you're an engineer, why don't you tell everybody what Hertz is? Because
who is or what it is?
Well, first, what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. First, what it is.
Hertz is a measure of frequency. It's kind of the standard measure of frequency. I think it's whatever the ISO or whatever it's called, the standard SI unit for frequency. And Hertz is a cycle per second.
Cycle per second. A periodic phenomena.
A periodic phenomena. And yeah, I used to have an old. Not frequency analyzer, the function generator, like pulse generator, and it was a really old one. It was from like the 70s, early or late 70s, and it actually, instead of Hertz, it said CPS, cycles per second. Yeah. So Hertz wasn't turned into a unit until, I don't know, sometime in the 70s or 80s. So old equipment will say CPS, but nowadays everything says Hertz, HC.
Yeah. And it's named after Heinrich Hertz. Born the 22nd of February.
Heinrich.
Yeah, 1857.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, and I'm just going to skip around just for one quick second. Sorry, little printer. We have Hertz in our. You like how there's a like the printers
oh my goodness.
At the bottom, yeah. So we have H is for Hertz in our Adafruit. I'm sorry, our Lady Ada. Our Adafruit, Lady Ada's, E is for electronics coloring book.
Yes.
So Hertz makes the pyramids.
We're up to H.
Yeah, and he's got the nice same. You're gonna color in the little comb over. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. So we got that going on.
This printer's going crazy.
Yeah, people are printing. So anyways.
This printer is going at 1 1/30th of a hertz. I don't know.
1/30th of a hertz.
Yeah, it's dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, very often.
All right. So let's keep moving along.
Okay.
We just had show and tell. Show and tell was awesome.
Yeah.
Once again, a great group of folks.
Okay, I have to remember what's on the show and tell.
Yeah. So the
first off, I should say how to join the show and tell. If you want to join the show and tell, because it's a little weird, you have to post a reply or on a message in my Lady Ada's Google Plus feed. Usually I do a post like once or twice a week about the show, Ask Engineer, so just respond to it.
Yeah.
The latest one is probably best and say, hey, I've got a project I want to show at some point. Add me to the circle. No, I do the circle because we can't make it public because there's 500,000 people on my Google Plus feed. If I invited 500,000 people to a party, it's going to be a bit of a mess. We don't have enough space in this apartment.
We tried that once where we hit public on accident for the hangout. And
that
it was just like it was pretty bonkers.
There was like those girls were screaming. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so we had
people get drunk in Google Plus too much, I think.
Yeah.
So just do that, and we'll add you. Okay, so who do we have?
Well, the first project, it was neat. It solved a problem. This is one of my favorite things, where Arduino is used to solve problems. So this guy works for a company. They have free soda in the fridge, but some people don't think the soda gets cold enough, and so they crank it up, and then it gets too cold, then they'll explode.
Yeah.
And so he had to figure out something, so you can use an Arduino, Ethernet shield, and a temperature sensor, and using your library, which is
I wrote,
which you wrote.
I wrote for
this thing will send him an email and say, hey, it's too cold, go tell someone to turn down the fridge. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then let's see, the other one was a clock made out of a CD player.
Yeah.
That was really neat.
Yeah, pop clock prototype.
Yeah.
There was a science fair project to measure battery life.
Yeah, and the same person was just getting back to electronics. He was talking about Nixie tube stuff.
Right, and then we had
Chris, another RiderNet update.
And then we had a fellow who makes Nixie kits.
Yeah, Chris showed a neat addition to RiderNet where it uses the power switchtail to cycle the routers.
There's a lot going on there.
Let me just say this: so his routers have mineral oil in them. And if it gets down to a certain level, because there's a flex sensor, it'll alert it too. But the neat thing is he found a little horse to be the floaty.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Floaty horse.
Cute.
Yeah. We have fun people showing up all the time. So that's a good show and tell.
Yeah, it was a great show and tell.
And we have it recorded and uploaded automatically to YouTube.
Yeah, that's all working out now. It's all working out.
What happened to the printer? Printer gone?
What?
We can't show the printer anymore?
Well, I thought we'd just take a break from the printer for 1 minute. Now I'll go split screen. I can go split screen anytime I want.
Yeah, we just got like 10 tweets.
Yeah, look at that.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
This thing is
Bleep, bleep,
coming
bleep,
along.
bleep.
Yeah, so anything you put on Twitter right now that says Adafruit, we will have
live
a
tweeting.
there. All right, so
okay,
next up. Yeah, next up, this is big news.
This is actually tomorrow's news today.
Yeah, well, it's live on the web. So Adafruit is in the New York Times.
The Sunday business.
The Sunday Times.
Yeah, the Sunday Times.
And Flora made an appearance in the actual New York Times.
Awesome.
And so
that's Becky's manicure.
Yeah, so that's Becky's hand right there. But I wanted to pop over to the web here, and this is the section. So
it's under business.
Yeah, the title is Wearable Electronics Are Making a Statement, and it's by Ann Eisenberg. And then the other title is Which Way to the Ball I'll Ask My Gown.
Oh, no, sorry, it was published Saturday, not Sunday.
Saturday, but if you look at the bottom, it says a version of this article will appear in print on February 26th on BU5 of the New York edition with the headline, Which Way to the Ball I'll Ask My Gown.
Okay, it's very confusing.
So.
But yeah, you can just see it for free on the New York Times website. And we talked about GPS-controlled clothing. Because they wanted to know what would be a good use of this, so I talked about one of the projects that I'm working on, which is using the Flora and Pixels, and these really, really sweet low-power GPS modules that I found to do, a low-power sort of directional finding bag, which I think will be good.
Yeah. And so go check it out. It's on the website right now at adafruit.com /blog. We have a link to it. And very exciting. Becky's in it. Kate Hartman is in it. All these great folks in the world of wearable electronics.
It's a big party.
Yeah, it's really neat. And what's great is it really captures the imagination of people. As the reporter talked to all these people, they're all like, oh, these are the cool things you can do with it. And they talked to us, like, what are our plans? So we shared a lot of kind of the future of Flora with the reporter because we wanted to get the word out as we test.
It was cool.
So,
I got so many tweets.
We're getting more tweets. Should I go to split screen? Look at this. Here it goes.
It's going wild.
Yeah.
Somebody even said this is going wild.
It's going wild.
It's going wild.
It's a printing party.
All your tweets are coming through.
Who would have thought in 2012 a printer would be exciting?
Let's see. Hi. And one challenge that may be huge: how to ship a RiderNet router. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
So anyways,
we'll check in back with
the code is heard. Someone said that they were having a problem with the code. It all depends on what you choose as your products. It's not everything. It's most of the things. The printer
Adafruit kits. The
printer is on sale.
Put that in there.
Yeah, if you have any
badges,
problems.
The badges are any badges.
Yeah, and if you have any problems, you can always email support@adafruit.com and I'll take care of you. Anyways,
the code works for like an extra couple hours after the show. It's not like it. Oh my God, you must purchase right now. It'll work tomorrow morning too.
Okay. So anyways. That's that.
Next up.
So next up, we have some Arduino news. I try to do some Arduino news every week. In the world of Arduino, the big announcement this week was that Arduino has a. I can turn on this thing again. Arduino has an office. It's like a prototyping office.
Yeah, we went there. They talked about it.
Yeah, it's in the old Fiat factory. They're getting space, and they want to turn Arduino into an incubator, which is a really interesting idea.
Yeah,
because if you look at our show and tell, there's people solving problems with Arduinos.
That could become products.
And so imagine like having an Arduino incubator, like a lab, in every major city.
Yeah.
It'd be really neat. You go there, learn Arduino stuff from other people. Maybe you could take a class, earn a badge. You know, all these things that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Wonder if Phil's shirt glows in the dark. Yes, it does. I'll show that soon. Oh, any word on the Arduino Leonardo? I could talk a little bit about that because that comes up a lot. And so we have an Arduino Leonardo. It's on my desk.
I have one.
We saw them at the factory. They're working on lots of stuff. It was announced. There's people shipping Leonardos. It probably shouldn't. It's kind of a bad idea. The bootloader is probably going to be significantly different.
The core will probably be different too.
Yeah, everything's probably going to be different. So I think they're working on it as fast as they can. We're working with their Arduino team with stuff behind the scenes for some of our products. But I like that they did kind of an open style with this. I think it's always a challenge when you announce something and it doesn't ship immediately. The hardware seems to be done and ready to go. Like I said, we have one.
Maybe some pages, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Next up.
Alrighty.
There's new categories on the blog.
One quick question.
Oh, yeah?
Is it practical to modify the Arduino code and printer for other display devices? Oh, we'll get to that. Let's ask questions during
the questions period.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't...
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's get to the news.
Let's go.
Otherwise, we have a schedule.
Becky Stern, who's on our team here, who was on the show last week, has been helping us out with some stuff that I kind of... Basically, like, some days I don't eat because I'm too busy. And so Becky's here now, and I'm getting her set up on all sorts of different... hey, little printer. Getting her set up on all sorts of different things. And so there's a new 3D category on the blog. There's a new Connect category on the blog. And you can look at all the posts. It's helpful because there's a lot of Connect stories. So when like a reporter emails us about the Connect stuff, just Connect hack for those.
We want to just send them.
We could just send them a link and say, hey, here we kept track of all of it. And then for 3D printing, we don't sell any 3D printers, but we really like a lot of the things that are going on in the 3D printing space. We just saw Bree the other day. We were going to visit.
They're like a mile away from us.
Yeah, we were going to visit Becky, and oddly enough, out of the side of a cab, I spotted Bree. I have peripheral Bree vision.
It looks like Bree.
And we were speeding by fast and Bree, and then we got a chance to talk and catch up a little bit. He's at TED right now doing a TED Talk. So I kind of like the serendipity of New York. Okay, next up, updates to our coloring book. If you go to adafruit.com/coloring book, we have some more pages up if you want to print them out and have kids color now. These are just, I'm putting them up as we're doing them. Sometimes they're sketches when you look at them, and then later on I put the inked version.
These are nicely inked.
Yeah, it's getting done. It's getting done.
How does he do this? Does he do this by hand or like with Illustrator?
Yeah, so the way I work with a fellow named Rob, and either I'll send over a sketch or I'll send over some text, and we kind of go back and forth, and he kind of goes into his world, and then he comes out, and a lot of the stuff is kind of good to go right away. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is one of our fun projects that we're doing. So anyways, you can download the coloring book. It's all finished. Anyone will be able to download and print it out, and of course you'll be able to buy one. That'd be cool too. Coming soon. Next up, if you're a fan of YouTube, we're redoing our YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll notice there's all sorts of new sections. There's all sorts of new categories. There's all sorts of new stuff. So if you want to see all of the Adafruit videos that we put on YouTube, this also means we're probably going to start putting Ask an Engineer on YouTube for the recorded versions for the people who care. We like Vimeo, but now that we have more people, that we can actually start doing things like uploading videos in multiple places, because it still takes forever. So, you know. Next up, an update to the Cats of Engineering. So if you
this
like...
was a project for a few months ago, but now we have more cats.
Yeah, so let me... I'll pop over to...
you want to just show off some of these cats?
Yeah.
You have to find it.
Yeah, I can't believe I don't have it like bookmarked, but...
So you started this a couple months ago, and what was it? Because his MOSFET was so famous, and you kept getting photographs of other people's cats, right? And they would say, hey, we love MOSFET. Here's a picture of our cat.
Yeah, so let me show you. So these are all the Cats of Engineering. I think there's like 50 or 60 now, and you could just see cats do a lot of electronics.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of nice stuff. And this kind of this took off a little bit more than I expected, because I expected like maybe just a few people to send in cats. Turns out everybody has a cat that does engineering. So we're getting through all of them as fast as we can. But if you have a cat that does engineering, send it in, and we'll add your cat to the Cats of Engineering page. I feel like I'm contributing to the internet in a big way now.
There's a cat with Nixies there.
Yeah, some cats have Nixies.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nixie cat.
Leo and the Nixie 2 block. And that's from Bob, who was just on the show and tell.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Well, he's got a cat, and the cat's got Nixies. That cat's dangerously close to the high voltage, but I don't know.
Oh, that's what
Maybe the
cats say.
fur insulates them.
Yeah, it's okay. I think cats will be fine with Nixies. They're smarter than we think they are. They're always plotting, these cats. Next up, Tyler from Kubra, who we sell this GPS, did this cool thing. It's called Open Source Upgrade. It's this badge.
Yeah.
So we're going to make stickers for people, and we're also probably going to have something on our site. So when one of our products or when someone else's thing gets better because people were able to contribute to it, we'll put an open source badge on it.
Yeah, he did a really nice graphic. I looked at it, I was like, that is a cool graphic.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should use that graphic. And so you emailed him, and he was like, yeah, we could totally use that.
Yeah. The printer is kind of scary over there in the corner. I feel like it's watching us. It's just kind of pulsating.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He's just sitting. It's plotting. It's waiting.
Yeah.
It's tweeting.
All right. Next up, every week, sometimes even more, we have Adam on our site. He's a teacher, and he does a thing called Ask an Educator. You can ask a question to a teacher who's teaching in a school in the trenches, teaching kids electronics, and you can ask all sorts of questions. This one is, what's the difference between electronics and wearable electronics? Our little printer has things for us.
I have a message for you.
Yeah.
He does a lot of research into the answers.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite sections on the site. And he's using our badges. He's making like a curriculum. And so when the kids learn enough about a laser cutter, they eventually get awarded a badge. When they learn enough about 3D printing and they actually complete the final thing, there's a badge. So hopefully we'll be able to collect all those, and other educators will be able to share this curriculum, these checkpoints along the way, and they'll be able to self-award the students these badges. I think that's a very good distributed way to celebrate learning. And in the end, you get this cool thing, and then the kids show it to all their friends. Oh, wow, what's that like laser beam thing on your bag? Oh, you learned how to use a laser cutter? Okay, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. So we are what we celebrate, to quote Dean Kamen. Okay.
Okay, cool. Next up,
I have
an article.
Yeah. Oh, let me. The printer is in the way. Oh, box.
Oh, box.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it looks like without it. So I did this article, and you know, my job at Make. I have another job, of course. I can't just like have 18 hours. I need to have 20 hours to occupy my time, I guess. I write these opinion pieces on Make, and so I try to keep track of things like Arduino, and I have an article in the past, why the Arduino One, why it's here to stay. It looks like that worked out, and like Sony's war on hackers, and then we all know what happened with the PlayStation Network. Like someone seemed to retaliate against them.
Yeah.
There's this war against Sony. This war against hackers.
Yeah, you've had quite a run on
these opinion articles have worked out really well, and so. A lot of them is how like open source is fueling Kickstarter. When you look at some of the cool projects there.
You want to come in a little bit more because you're not. There you go.
Yeah, I like being off the screen.
I like that it's only an arm, but it is a little creepy.
Yeah, well, you can hear.
All right,
the
so
voice.
you had a. This isn't one that you were not so sure about, but it actually turned out really good in the end.
Yeah, it
This
worked
was
out.
Your best article.
It worked out okay. I really like it because one of the things that's been happening is a lot of people do open source hardware, and a lot of us follow these rules with each other because we all know each other. We all been building stuff together for a while. So I said, you know what? It's about time that we just all write this down. And so I'm just going to go over the high level ones.
Okay.
And then I'm going to focus on one real quick one because I think I'm going to do a follow up article. Is that interesting?
Okay.
So the unspoken rules of open source hardware. We pay each other royalties. So,
That's true.
like Mitch Altman, he makes a TV Be Gone. Well, he co-designed it with Lamore.
He made the TV Gun. We made the TV Gun kit together.
Yeah, and we pay him a royalty because we think it's the right thing to do, and it makes him able to run around the world and teach people things. He gets a chunk of his income from the royalties from kit sales.
Yeah.
Very cool. SparkFun does the same thing. You can look on the site at the bottom of some of the kits. You can see that says a percentage of the cost of this kit goes back to the designer. Yeah. So all of us are helping each other. Open source hardware is good for the users because they can do anything they want. Businesses to businesses and kit designers to businesses, we've decided, well, it's open source hardware. We could all rip each other if we want, but we're not going to. We're going to treat each other very well. Yeah. And that's been working out fantastic. And it's one of the reasons why the open source hardware community is fantastic.
Right.
So that's one of the ones that everyone was a little surprised about. We credit each other a lot. That's an easy one. Naming be different. This is one because for a while, like everyone had a Arduino or an Arduino type thing.
Yeah.
The Arduino team said, hey guys, like this is a little crazy. Maybe you can name it something else. And we're actually seeing people name their Arduino compatible something else besides sounding exactly like Arduino. Arduino is their name. It's their thing. Putting Duino at the end of stuff apparently sounds horrible to people in Italy. You know, like, it's awful. So, you know, if you're going to come up with something, call it something new. I'll give you a good example. So we have our Flora, which will be Arduino compatible. We didn't call it like Floraduino or anything. We decided Flora. That's a very good name. That means something important to us. So we thought that was kind of neat.
And it came. I mean, I thought about. I wanted something that was flowery and floral.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to maybe be a word in Italian because I wanted to credit that, you know, Arduino is Italian origin, but not just call it like Arduino wearable.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think we're seeing the end of just putting Duino at the end of something.
Yeah.
I think people are trying to get more creative and really realizing if they build a good product and call it something unique, that it'll stand on its own and be more valuable.
Yep.
So, anyways, next up, we actually do open source hardware. That means when you release a project and you call it open source hardware, you release the code, the schematics, the source code, all that stuff. Once in a while, people decide that they want to call it open source hardware but don't want to release files, and then everyone gets angry with them. And they say, hey, I bought this thing. Where's the files? Oh, I don't want to give them to you because you'll just make it. And it's like, well, don't call it open source hardware.
Yeah.
So, but that's very rare because we have these unspoken rules. Basing your project off open source it. So a lot of people, if they base their product off open source, they open source their product too.
Yeah.
Now, my pet peeve is Shields seems to be the one thing where not everybody open sources their Shield design. So I think if you're going to like bolt your thing onto an Arduino, you're using the Arduino as like your thing, and you're using the code from other people, all the stuff, you should probably contribute back in the same way because you'll get so much value back when people improve your stuff.
Yeah.
My little pet peeve.
Well, the thing is that in the end, the library code is C, and that's not doesn't have to be open source, but it's hard to hide it. You can't like hide the design. It's not like a standalone module because it has to plug in, and you can't have an object file. I mean, I guess you could try to distribute an object file, but it would be very difficult. So. Yeah.
Next up, code and designs that have value. That's just an easy one. Once in a, like most of the time, this doesn't happen. All the libraries get improved. We put code out there. There's pulls and forks on GitHub, and people add value. But once in a while, someone will say, "Well, I just want to change the name of your library to my company's name, and I'll just like do that. And it's open source, so I can just do that." That's not cool. We don't do that to each other. We don't just take each other's libraries or code and like change a name and a logo and say, "Oh, look, it's so much different now." But it's not, you know. Like so when we do that, it's generally frowned upon. So it's kind of like, you know, taking Firefox and taking the code, and the only thing you change is the name. Now that's okay, it's all within the rules. But like, why would you want to do that? Why would you not want to add anything? Yeah. Anyways, cloning ain't cool, and this is the one that I think people had the biggest problem with. I was very specific. I said cloning as in you can go on eBay and there's Arduinos that say Arduino. It says made in Italy. But they're on green boards, and it's very clear they're not from Italy. They're shipping out of.
Or they have like different parts on them.
Yeah, they break. They're awful. And a lot of people, this happens because I do the support at Adafruit, a lot of people buy fake Arduinos. They say Arduino, they think they got a genuine Arduino. They get it in the mail, and their kids can't use it. The parents can't figure it out. They send me a photo, and I'm like, oh, it's absolutely a fake and a clone. They spelled Italy wrong. The logo is reversed. It is. I have seen so many awful things.
I like it when they put the Arduino in, but they use like a different font.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird one.
So I have to revisit this because some people said, oh, if you don't like getting cloned, don't do open source hardware. It's not that. I'm not talking about you're in a certain area in the world where you just want to make your own Arduino because you can't get them at a good price, and locally you can do it better, and you want to add improvements and do stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm actually talking about stealing the Arduino name, stealing the Arduino identity, stealing their trademark stuff, and pretending to be an Arduino and trying to get rid of it.
It's actually not bad if someone says, hey, this isn't a genuine Arduino, this is something else. The problem is that people are buying what they think are Arduinos, and they're being fooled. So the problem is people don't understand what they're getting because they're being tricked by people that are saying, oh, this is a genuine Arduino and it's made in Italy, and like, yeah, this is purchased from the Arduino to be supported, when it isn't. And so that's a problem. There's people who sell Arduino derivatives that look like an Arduino, but they make it very clear, hey, this is like my own design, and maybe I changed a couple things. That's totally cool because like you're forking it, you're changing it, you're making it, and you're making it clear that it's not an Arduino. We're talking about people who leave everything on there and basically
so actually,
are lying.
On Amazon right now, there's fake Arduinos, and when you look at the zoomed-in photo, it's very clear it's fake, and they're trying to undercut real Arduinos, and that's just bad. And Amazon will eventually have to stop doing this, but it's a huge overhead for the Arduino team to constantly be looking for this stuff. So as a community, I think we can help, because if people are stealing the trademarked Arduino name, they're pretending it's from Italy, it's not, and they're selling these, and customers are getting them, and they're emailing people like us saying, I'm so disappointed, I'm broke, I've spent this money for my kid, and it doesn't work.
Well, some guy was like, oh, I'm using your TFT shield with an Arduino derivative, and I spent like 3 days until I realized it didn't work because there's like something different about it.
So this is, just real quick, because this is going to be a new article, because it's that important, and I was very specific about what I meant by cloning. I'm actually going to start saying clone/counterfeits, because that's a closer term.
Counterfeit is actually a closer term because there's people who like clone our kits, but like they make it clear that they're making it and it's not ours to support.
And it's not just open source hardware. The Teensy was cloned, and that's not open source hardware. So it doesn't matter. But as a community, I mean, people are going to get hardware can always get cloned. But I mean, clone is counterfeit.
And when the Teensy was cloned, I don't even think he cared that much that somebody copied the hardware. He wasn't actually selling that design anymore. It's that they put his name down as like
on the printed box.
Yeah, if you need customer support, email PGRC, and he's like, wait a minute, this is not mine. I haven't made these in a year.
Yeah. So, anyways, I have an update to this article, and I just want to show you just one quick example because this is fun.
Wow.
You know what the thing is? Maybe we're in the open source hardware has worked out so well, like rap music kind of evolved, and then like some of the popular rappers talk about their haters. And I kind of feel like I don't like to focus on the negative, but I do like to point out that we're in such an interesting time that the term Arduino, the logo Arduino, is so valuable. People want to have it.
Yeah.
Right? Adafruit's in the same thing. There are Adafruit clones, and I have a collection of them. People are saying they're Adafruit. They're putting our logo on stuff. I have to stop them. So I have some things I want to show you.
Okay.
Oops.
Show us some things.
So let me show you real quick. This is one of the Uno clones. So this is on his website. And it's on a .com site, so this is pretty bad. It says Uno Arduino 2001, the official version. But take a look at this. That's not really the Arduino logo.
Yeah, it's like somebody like hand drew it or something. It is kind of funny.
Yeah, so they're making these really low cost in different parts of Asia. They're claiming it's Arduino, and then it also one of their megas says made in Italy. It's not made in Italy. So
And it's only because we look at Arduinos like day in, day out that we can really tell the differences. There are a couple things that you can tell. The blue color is a certain color. The logo looks a certain way. The silk screening has a certain look to it. The part selection is certain.
So let me show you one of these. So this happens a lot. People say, oh, I bought an Adafruit prototyping shield. And, they sent a photo, and it looks like there's this crappy screening on it. On the back, there's all sorts of problems.
We don't even do green ones anymore.
We don't even do green ones. And so what these folks did is they stripped our URL off. So they took off ladyada.net, and they put their own. It was langxiangdz.com. And then, they wanted to pass it off as Adafruit, so they put our little logo in there.
Yeah.
So these are being sold to people. They're saying it's from Adafruit. People get these. It's not from Adafruit. So, we have to do that. Now, if they just took the logo off and they took our URL off, that would actually be okay.
Well, I think they should at least give credit.
They should give credit. But I'm saying worst case scenario, and this is like legal stuff. This isn't ethics stuff. They actually can't use our logo. They actually can't do those things. So, anyways, this is stuff I have to take care of.
Yeah. Well, it's only an issue when people come to us and they say, "Hey, I bought this from you and I want my money back," and we're like, "We never sold you anything."
Yeah. I'll put my biz hat on just for a second. One of the biggest support challenges is people buying stuff from other companies and wanting support from us because they can't get them from the company they bought from. They didn't buy something else, they bought something from somebody else, and they're coming to our forums or calling us or emailing us, and they're like, "I can't get help anywhere, but I know you sell something like it. Can you help me instead?" And then the other one is people getting fake stuff. And fake is in like it has our name on it. So this isn't this is a clone issue. This is a counterfeit issue.
This isn't an open source issue. No.
Yeah. So.
This happened. No, you were saying yourself that somebody who worked at the Genius Bar at Apple Store. People would come in with a Dell.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "I need help," and the person at the Genius Bar is like, "We don't sell Dells," and they're like, "Yeah, but I know you can help me with my email problem."
You guys help people so much better. So that's a support issue on the side. I think in China, a bunch of shops got shut down because they were selling Apple-branded stoves with the actual Apple logo on it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Apple stove.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is interesting. And a lot of companies don't talk about when this happens to them. This is kind of.
It's a global issue.
Yeah, it's an issue.
Right. How's little printer doing over there?
Couple of printouts. Yeah, I got a lot of printouts.
All right.
Woo!
Someone tweet. Okay.
More tweets.
Yeah. Next up.
Feed the printer. Yeah. Feed the printer.
Next up, we're gonna spend a couple minutes on
new stuff.
But first,
the code.
The code hurts.
10% off many kits, including
the printer.
A printer kit.
Okay. It's new product time.
Okay.
New product time. Okay. I'm gonna go through this real quick.
Software new.
Yeah. So if you bought Circuit Playground for iPhone, iPad, we have an update, a few bug fixes, a bunch of other stuff, and we're already going to be rolling out the next update soon. We have probably 100 little tiny updates. We're going to update frequently and keep adding cool tools. Game thing coming maybe. I'll talk about that later. And a bunch of other stuff. We want this to be the best, most beautiful, useful engineering application for iPhone and iPad.
Yep.
Anyways, the update went out. You can check it out in the Apple Store. It is in there for the people who it's not free, but you have a coupon for the exact same price of the app. So it is kind of like free. All right, next up, BeagleBone stock.
We have an update to BeagleBone. There was a slight bug for the A4s and A3s when using them with 100 megabit Ethernet. That bug has been fixed. I guess they removed a resistor or something. You don't have to do that anymore. So there's now the A5, which is the latest and greatest BeagleBone. We got a whole bunch in. These things are awesome. I'm hoping to get some time to play with mine very shortly. That's it.
Okay. Next up, OLED displays.
We have these back in stock. We did a little change to the circuit board design, and we got a whole bunch made, and these are little breakouts for our 128 by 64 pixel monochrome OLEDs. They're awesome. We actually sold out, but we'll have a lot more in on Monday.
All right. Next up, I'll take care of some of these. Badges came in. We have more badges. So the Gita badge, this is the open source CAD tool. KiCad, another one.
This one's big.
This one's big. This is for the sleeves. And then we also have a glow-in-the-dark badge. This is really neat. I'll grab, so watch this quick video, but I'm also going to grab one real quick. That's a video from Becky. Yeah, you can also see, I'm going to try to make it dark. Look how much this is glowing, yeah. This is like a dark camera there. Look at that. Double glow. Alright. So, moving right along. We got a
radiation badge.
We got a BSD badge.
Statement badge. Beep beep.
We got a PHP badge. And we worked with the people who actually own the copyrights on this stuff. So the PHP elephant fellow, the fellow who made the little demon, we worked with the KiCad and the Gita team to make sure that, one, they thought this was a good idea, and two, we had permission. So it's working out. We like it. Next up, big kind of news. You have another permaproto.
Yeah. So as we've been selling these really handy permaproto boards, people kept asking, "Hey, like I want to fit it in a tin." And the half-size breadboard one fits in a tin, but I was like, you know what? There's a little bit of space. So I took the half-size breadboard one and I extended it out to be round and put 4 nice mounting holes on it so that you can easily attach it to a mint tin. So this fits very nicely into an Altoid tin. On the bottom, you can see it's got 5 grid holes, sort of like a breadboard, and then power rails, and then it's got 80 extra individual perf holes. So if you want to use a connector or something on the right or left of the board edge, you can see here it fits perfectly inside. It has to get past the lip, so it's actually the same size as the lip of the tin. So then it fits inside, and then you can attach it however you wish. And yeah, we got 200 of these in the store, and you can buy them individually. They're a little more expensive because they're kind of big, and we didn't think as many people wanted them. But they're really beautiful. They have the nice 3-color silkscreen, black, red, and blue. They're gold. They're through-hole plated. They're gold plated, so they won't oxidize. It's just awesome.
Yeah, you did a great job on that.
Perfect if you want to do a mint tin project. Now you don't have to cut perf board to make it fit. This will fit nice.
Yeah. All right. Terminal books.
Yeah, these are some terminal screw blocks. We use these guys for motor shield and the screw shield wing shield and a couple other kits. I like these because they're not too big. They're 3.5 millimeter spacing, so they're big enough for like up to I think 10 American wire gauge wires and down to like I think 28 or so. So it's like a pretty good range of wires. You can use a small Phillips or flathead screwdriver, and they snap together. So you can get 2s and 3s, and then you snap them together to make any size you want. So if you want 5 pins in a row, you get a 2 and a 3, and you snap them together, and then they work perfectly. They don't fit into 0.1 inch spacing. That's the trade-off. The ones that are 0.1 inch spacing don't snap together, though. So that's kind of like, I like the fact that you can extend these out as much as you'd like. But they do fit diagonally. So if you only have 2 or 3 connectors you want to put in, they'll fit diagonally into perf holes, including like the permaproto boards.
Yeah. Some people want to know how much current.
Probably like 4 or 5 amps at least. Quite a bit. I mean, terminal blocks can do a lot of amperage. There's a lot of surface area. And they're quite beefy.
Yeah, and then we also have the 3-pin one.
Yeah, we have the 2-pin and we have the 3-pin, because if you want to have an odd numbered one, you would use the 3-pin, and you can combine them in any number you want. They all snap together and they fit on the grid perfectly.
Okay, next up, we've got this printer that made the rounds around the web, and
Yeah.
everyone seems to really like it. Phil Burgess did an awesome video, which
Yeah.
I want to show right now.
Okay, show it.
Okay. Let me keep that. Take us off.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Disco!
Yeah. All right. So there it is. So
Yeah.
remember to tweet to the
Remember
printer.
to tweet, and you can watch it live.
Tweet Adafruit.
Yes, this is
right
really
now.
a cool pack because we got these little thermal printers in a few months ago, and people were using them for projects, including making web-connected tweeters or like puzzle printers
Yeah.
or like fortune tellers. And so we had the printer, but the problem is that you need to have connect to the internet to do something cool. So we want to use an Arduino Ethernet or Arduino Uno with an Ethernet shield. And we wanted to have a nice plastic box for it. And we also wanted to have an on-off button because maybe you don't want it on all the time, or an indicator. And so the nice thing about the metal buttons that we have in the store is they are panel mounted. They have an LED ring, so they can it's an LED signal as well as an on-off button. So I think it's a really nice pair, and they're nice green. Yeah. And so it's a nice laser cut box, and I can show off the box. The fun part is the box hinges up.
There's a little hinge. It's so cute.
And so you can get to the Arduino Ethernet because over here there's an FTDI friend port. Oh. And so to reprogram it, you don't have to take the box apart. You just lift up this little hinge.
I've
but
got
the
this,
hinge.
Yeah, I'll show you. This is a nice shot of the front.
Yeah, and then on the back, there's a panel mount power jack, because you need to have a lot of current for these printers because it's a thermal printer, so it heats up the paper and it like literally burns it to print onto the display. And so you need our 5-volt 2-amp power plug. We tried it with the 9-volt 1-amp, and it actually wasn't good enough. It'll brown out the Arduino. The voltage will dip too low, and so the 5-volt 2-amp is required. So, but we have a really good quality 5-volt 2-amp adapter. Yeah. And that powers both the Arduino and the thermal printer and the button. And then the button, basically turns on and off the entire thing. And then inside is an Arduino Uno Ethernet, which is running this little program that goes to the Search Twitter API, and you can ping that every 30 seconds or so. That's kind of the limit they have. Yeah. And it's actually very easy to put in a custom search string. There's actually not much parsing required at all. It's all in JSON, so it's very easy for our code to parse an Arduino. Even though it doesn't have a lot of memory, it can do it on its own. And you can put in any kind of search string. So we have it just searching for the word Adafruit. Yeah. But you can have it search for tweets to an account, from an account, a hashtag, a certain location. Basically, any way that you can search Twitter, you can search through the API. And so you can really customize this, which is really neat. And it prints out, every 30 seconds it gets all the tweets and then prints them out in order. Yeah. And it works really well over Ethernet. It's DHCP, so you just plug it in and it works, basically.
Someone wants to know, do we have the CAD files for this? Yes, we do. And
do we have the what?
The CAD files for it.
I don't know if we have those up yet.
No, we have them.
We do?
Yeah, if we forgot to put them up on GitHub, that might be on me. Just let us know, and we'll
I sent them to you. Maybe you've been busy making badges.
Yeah.
So but we have them, they're laser cuttable. I'll put them up later.
None of the kits got out to anybody yet because we just started shipping them. So if you need the CAD files and they're not up, let me know, and I'll make sure they're up right away. Next up, how do you know when it's out of paper? Printing.
Well, the way there's no feedback mechanism, but first of all, it stops printing and the paper kind of falls out. Yeah. But also there's a little on most paper rolls. I don't know if you can see it, but
there's red.
There's
on the
a little
side.
pink ring. Yeah. You can kind of see that there's a little pink stripe that shows up on the edge, and so when you're getting near the end, it kind of warns you.
Also, it's open source. We purposely left this open for a lot of things, so you could probably do a color detector, and once the color detector sees pink, you can also say it could tweet and say, "Hey, I'm about to run out of paper." Yeah,
there's probably something you can do to determine when it's out. But 50 feet actually is quite a bunch of feet. Yeah. But just look for the pink stripe. That's when you have a warning. You have only about 10 feet left.
Yeah, you could someone says you can put a sensor on the paper roll so you can see when it's getting too small. Yeah, exactly. This is all the cool stuff. This is the Arduino glue that I was talking about. The person who has a freezer who wants to know before the Cokes explode. Because it gets too cold in there. How will you know when your printer is about to run out of paper? Now, let me just say, everybody here who watches the show is all into this. They love this thing. They like it. Other people who aren't like us, and I mean us, who are into electronics and learning and sharing, one of the things I saw was, this is a waste of paper, this is this or that. This is to teach people how to make Internet of Things in a very fun way. How do you inspire a kid or someone who likes all this social networking stuff
doesn't have to be tweets.
to want to be programming?
Yeah.
Like,
You
how
could do something else.
You could do anything. It doesn't have to be printing paper. This is just a neat thing, but you have to do laser cutting. You learn all sorts of neat stuff. And so, when I hear that, these are people that are sitting on computers complaining. One could say that it's a waste of like a lot of resources to use computers for complaining. We should maybe be working on you should be working on better things than complaining. So this is like one of the things. So I'm gonna leave it up to everybody out there to help like inspire and encourage people to see everyone's like, oh, everyone should be doing science and engineering. Well, how do you get people to be interested in it? The TV be gone.
All art is waste.
Yeah, all art is waste. So the TV be gone sometimes is polarizing. People are like, oh, that's an awful thing. It's just going to turn off TVs. Well, what the biggest use of the TV be gone is? Kids learning how to solder, and then they go turn off their parents' TV, and it's fun for 10 minutes, and they think it's interesting.
And they have family time.
Like, the TV's off for a minute. Hey, you learned something cool. So, it's kind of it's up to all of us to start talking about, like, how much fun this is. And this is kind of a funny, cute thing. Anyway.
I think I really like this project. I have a theory. People say like, oh, it's like a waste of paper or whatever. It's like, look, if anyone sat down and spent the time to build this, they learned so much. They're probably gonna do something really cool with it.
Yeah. Someone wants to know. Yeah, the bacon thing was just a joke. We're not working on printing bacon yet because we'd have to get pork rolls, and that's a mess.
It's not kosher. I'm not gonna let that in my house.
And then can it do bitmaps? Can it print out bitmaps?
It can. I do have code in the library to print bitmaps. I got it working. It can also print out like I have a demo for printing out the Adafruit logo and a QR code. I haven't done the code to do internet print bitmaps because you'd have to change the format. But if you can parse a BMP file, then you should be able to print a bitmap directly from the internet onto the printer.
Yeah.
I think somebody did it with a processing sketch.
Yeah, and
they did some dithering.
Yeah, and I'll have a couple last things about the printer maybe at the end of the show.
Okay.
Okay. So
that was our big project.
That was it. That's the new product. That's the new product section. Whew, got through it. New products. That concludes new product section. All right. Just a reminder, everybody. Hertz. Hertz is the code tonight. Hertz gets you 10% off many of the kits that we sell in the Adafruit store.
Including the printer kit.
Including the printer. How's everybody liking HD? Like we got this HD.
Yeah, we're in like super high def mega mode.
Yeah, we're trying to. What type of processor is in the network printer? What's inside that?
It's an Arduino Uno Ethernet.
Yeah. They probably want to know like what's inside. Is there a microcontroller inside the printer?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I didn't open it all the way.
You should probably crack it open.
Probably some 8051 core, really cheap thing that just drives the heater.
Yeah. Yeah, people like the HD, by the way. We'll keep doing that. Okay, I got a little top secret thing.
You have a tip. I actually have a lot of top secret things. I have so much stuff I'm working on that I don't really need to show.
Next week, maybe we'll do. It's not out yet, don't ask. So I got this top secret thing real quick. I'm just going to talk about it. So we're working on the iPhone and iPad app and maybe other mobile OSs down the road as we finish this up. So I want to propose a thought experiment for everybody. If you were to have kids who have iPhones, iPads, because that's kind of like one of the bigger markets, and you could teach them electronics. Start thinking about what games, and so this is Circuit Playground. See all these circuits playing on the playground? This is Circuit Playground.
Circuit Playground.
Yeah, what I want everyone to think about, if they can, is what type of games could we get kids to play that would teach them some of the fundamentals of electronics? And we all know there's physical things, little bits, snap circuits, there are all sorts of fun things. There's Code Academy, there's Khan Academy. There's all sorts of like things that we can do. There's a game where you learn to program and it like races a car. There's all sorts of stuff. But if anyone out there is a very good game designer, has some ideas. So I've already working on some stuff. But we're an open source company. May as well get some cool ideas too. Yeah, everything should share both ways. So start thinking about it. This is Circuit Playground. These are some of the little dudes that are in there. These little dudes here, these little girls here. I don't know what gender issues with circuits. There's
angry diodes or something?
Angry diodes. Don't tell everybody. I'm taking on Angry Birds. Anyways.
I like Angry Birds.
Yeah. Anyways. I'm looking for some really good ideas.
Okay.
People have them. People can show me some current examples. There's a neat thing in your comment feed on Google Plus where about 30 people had some great suggestions for games. So, anyways.
We have ideas.
We have ideas. That's our
tweet
not
the
out,
ideas to the printer.
That's our It's Not Out Yet, Don't Ask segment because we are working on that. It's not out yet, don't ask. Okay. General question time.
It's time for general questions.
General questions, and the printer will answer, and Lady Ada will answer.
I think you should still ask questions. There's like 3 of me, Phil.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Oh no, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Look.
No, cloned.
Yeah. So someone asked who's controlling all the stuff behind the camera, and I'm like, no.
It's all.
Okay, here's some questions. What's the difference between a ceramic resonator or crystal on an Arduino derivative? Is there a difference?
Ceramic resonators are slightly less precise, and they're also less expensive. But they're only slightly less precise. It's not likely to affect anything.
Okay.
You probably only need crystal timing for like USB stuff.
Next up, is there
stuff.
dogs of engineering? We're not going to do it. We're hoping someone else does. We don't want to have all the
we
feline
can't,
and
we can't do
pet.
both.
Yeah, we can't do both.
Yeah, we gotta do one. We're not going to do
see.
ferrets of engineering.
If your iPod doesn't support it, it might be a previous version. We can only go down to 4.2. And then can you download the Tweeter song to iPod? I don't know.
I think it's probably for sale.
We credit we got permission from the makers. Look at the end and look up the song.
Yeah, buy that song and support the artist.
Yeah.
It's probably
what is
available.
the schematic on your Ustream? Oh, you know what that is. That is the wave
that's
bubble.
the wave bubble.
Yeah, that was your cell phone jammer and Wi-Fi jammer and GPS jammer that you built.
That's right.
That was a nice project. Next up, question: resonators versus crystals. When should I use a crystal?
When you need high precision, it depends on what you're doing. If you need a high precision timing, crystal's going to be a little bit more high precision.
Okay, what happened to the ARM board in the shop? We just recently took that aside.
We took that out. We're gonna design something a little better.
Yeah. Okay. How safe is PCB milling? That's toxic. That's kind of fiberglassy stuff.
It is fiberglass, so you want to have a really good dust mask on. You want to make sure to cover your skin so you don't get the dust into your hands and you could eat it by accident or breathe it. I don't like PCB milling personally because of that. I usually just send my boards out and they're chemically etched in like a safe factory.
Okay. We might go a couple minutes over time, but we're going to speed around, all right?
Okay.
Ready? What's the best soldering iron on the market? No budget.
No budget? A Metcal. Get like
okay.
the Metcal 500 or whatever, the latest, maybe 600 now, that has like an LCD built into it.
Yeah, if anyone
if it is like no budget, that is like kind of the best.
Yeah.
I have one.
By the way, Metcal, we'd love to sell Metcals. If anyone has any Metcal, we'd like to talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard enough getting the Hackos.
Yeah. Is it bad to have a ground plane under 16 megahertz crystal for an Arduino type project?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. What
is a good RFID analyzer board? Is it Prox Mark III the best but expensive?
I don't know. I've never done any RF analyzing board analyzing.
Oh, does anyone know if anyone's buying a USB VID that everyone in the Arduino community will be able to use with their unsellable whatevers? No.
That's not permitted.
You
under
should
the
definitely
USB
buy
license.
your own USB VID. We have one. Arduino team has one. Anyone who's doing stuff and selling products, you should do it. If you're a hobbyist, you could probably just pick anything. That was a suggestion that someone put in my article. But if you're selling goods to people, this is kind of like a trademark or paying taxes. You should do it. It's the right thing to do. We're stuck. We're all stuck with this.
There's a lot of people who don't think paying taxes is a good thing to do.
We have to.
That's not a good comparison.
We have to. You have to. Until someone comes up with a better system that really works that we can all use. We have to.
Okay.
I have to.
We're not going to talk about taxes.
I drive on the right side of the road.
Ask
I do all the stuff.
questions.
Yeah,
Ask questions.
okay.
You said a speed round.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever considered robotic products? Yes. With robotic products, that's a little bit of my zone. We're kind of waiting. We have some stuff in the pipeline. But the robotic market is a little bit of a mess, and things aren't that good. And there's not.
We actually have a robot project. We're going to be carrying more. We have a couple things. We're very picky. I'm very, very picky. I don't want to carry like every kind of crappy like robot thing. So right now we have the Eggbot, which is excellent. We have our motor stepper shield, which is like working really, really well. People love it. It works great for driving all sorts of steppers and DC motors. We have a couple motors in the store, including a pretty nice stepper motor, which I like, which runs at 12 volts.
Yeah.
We have the robot arm, which I really like, and people have hacked it to add Arduino control.
Let me put it this way. We've been waiting a long time to do the great wearable platform. We announced Flora, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is great! This is exactly what I want to do."
And that was like 2 years. For 2 years, people were like, "Why don't you have a Flora wearable?"
Yeah, why don't you have a wearable electronic platform made for it? Why don't you just because there's all these things we want our wearables to do, and no one's doing it yet. So we feel like that with robotics. We'll eventually have something awesome, but we have to work on it. And
don't worry, when we have it, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But we just don't know what it is yet. Just like we've solved Bluetooth, but it's going to take us a little bit of time to do that actual solving.
Yeah.
The idea comes fast, but the work takes a while.
Wearable robotics. Yeah. Next up, let's see. are we thinking of software-defined radio? Not yet. People ask once in a
I'm
while.
not an SDR type of person.
Yeah. Oh, why isn't there a CNC milling routing badge? You know, if someone designs one, I'd like to see a really good way to represent it in 2 inches by 2 inches. That's a tough one. I've been thinking about it. Bicycle repair, it took me like 2 weeks to like finally go, oh, like there's an iconic way to represent it. Like it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard.
The canvas is 2 inches by 2 inches.
2 inches by 2 inches, and it has to be done
Yeah.
in thread.
Next up.
With like a limited number of colors. You only get like 6 to 8 colors.
Okay. Is there a good $120 soldering iron? Okay.
For $120, you should get the Hacko we have in the
we
store,
do
the
that.
FX888.
Okay.
Which is what we carry, is the best $100 iron.
Next up, the Arduino code and printer, other display devices. Yes, you can do that. And other data sources than Twitter. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. Our example code is just Twitter because it's iconic, easy to test. Plug it in, it'll work.
Okay. Whew, I think we got through. Is your Teensy board the same as PJRC? We buy them from Paul.
We carry the Teensy, and we're going to carry the Teensy++ soon. And we get those from Paul, and he does a really good job.
Will you stock an Iron Man suit? We know some people who worked on the Iron Man suit, and they're going to visit soon. But we're not going to stock it. Next up, have you thought of school presentations? We do talks once in a while. Talks in schools are only a few people, and it's very hard to share. We do Ask an Engineer every week. We record all the stuff, we put it out there. All of your tutorials are online.
Yeah.
We're trying to share the most with the most people, trying to be efficient. There's only a few of us here at Adafruit. So we think the future is doing stuff online, broadcasting video. We do the Hangout, the show and tells. There's students who come in and do this. Teachers are writing curriculum and using our badges and using your tutorials. So that's our opinion and kind of the type of thing that we're doing with school stuff. And we'll have our online badging system out very soon. Still working on it. Next up, any BeagleBone board tutorials? No. BeagleBone stuff? Yes.
Yeah, we'll hope we get some BeagleBone tutorials out soon. We don't end up having a consistent stock of them, so we're working more on trying to get them in the store. And once we feel comfortable that we have the revision that they're going to be stuck with for a bit, then we'll do some tutorials.
How do you reduce signal wire noise?
Oh, there's,
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a really big topic.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends where your noise is coming from and why you're trying to reduce it.
Yeah.
You can post in the forums with a very detailed question that would be more useful than just saying, hey, I want to reduce general noise in general.
Do you have code for Patch Bay and ThingSpeak connection? No, but we're hoping someone else writes that. It's open source. Go for it.
Yeah.
It's out there. Do you have a Patch Bay tweeting system to print? Nope. Someone can write that.
I've never written any patch.
What's the difference between
we talk directly to the Twitter search API because that's the fastest and easiest thing to do, and it always works.
What's the difference between Arduino and BeagleBone? That's a big one. You might want to post it up in the forums or look at the product pages because they're very distinct.
The BeagleBone is a computer, and the Arduino is a microcontroller.
Do you know if there's a tutorial for connecting a camera to the BeagleBone for OpenCV?
No, I think someone did it, but I don't know the details.
I don't know if there's a tutorial for it.
But somebody has gotten it working because I know there was a demo.
NFC
video.
board write code coming soon. I think there's missing a word there.
I don't know what that means.
What are your opinions on Raspberry Pi versus BeagleBone? Haven't seen a Raspberry Pi in my hand yet. I will let you know how I feel about that when I get one. Next up.
I remember last year you said it's not coming out this year, and people were all upset, and then
it didn't come out last year.
It's like 2 months into the new year, and it's still out.
Do you guys like the embed? Embed guy was supposed to send us one, and he didn't. I still want to play with the embed.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Yeah. Waiting for that package.
Waiting for my package to come in. Do you sell a flexible color display?
No, I don't know of any.
They can flex a little bit.
I don't know of any flexible displays in the first place. Yeah. Much less a black and white one or a color one.
And next up, any word on Arduino Wi-Fi Shield? Arduino Wi-Fi stuff is a little messy out there. We're going to try to make something really good, but we're also looking around. We're still reviewing ones.
Unfortunately, it's all crap. So I have to find the least crappy of all of them, which is a challenge.
I tried to be diplomatic. You just did it engineer style. Yeah.
Well, I was waiting for the Arduino Wi-Fi Shield, but they're still working on it.
E-paper, that's another tough one. There's nothing good ready yet.
E-paper is not really a display. I mean, it's a display, but it's not available on the market. Okay,
my first Arduino kit package. I'm not afraid to get in deep. Suggestion: get the RDX pack from ARDX pack from us. That's a good one. Let's see. I think we've got to stop. It's 10:58. Okay, thank you everybody. Remember, the code is Hertz. 10% off mini kits.
Tweet.
Now it's time for a trivia question. Trivia question, trivia question. It's trivia question time. All right. This is going to be a video trivia question. Not a video, an image trivia question. And I'll, you have to type it.
Wait, what's the prize?
Yeah,
The prize?
Don't enter if you won before.
The prize. What should the prize be?
I'm going to give you all these badges.
We should give him.
And I'm going to give you 3 Perma-Proto Minty things.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get this prototype pack. So you get all the new badges, and you get 3 of these.
Okay.
There you go. That's good price.
So you get the welding badge.
Yeah.
The PHP badge.
Yeah.
VSD badge.
Yeah.
Radiation badge. KiCad, Gita.
Yeah.
And 3 of these.
Yeah.
Minty breadboards.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
What is this? Spell it out right. I'll give you some clues, but what is this?
It's a chemical.
Yeah, it's a very specific type of chemical, though. Yeah, it's a molecule. It's a very, very specific one. And let me start going through this. And you need to type it in, and I need the full name of it, not the abbreviation.
The hint is it relates to the Internet of Things printer.
Yeah, so we have the Internet of Things printer, and no one read our page when we released it. And they said, oh, there's this chemical on the printer receipt stuff that it's dangerous, but we have it, it's this chemical free. So it's this chemical free. Yeah, it's not estrogen.
So what is this chemical?
Okay, Scott 42, you're very close, but I need the full name. Nope, full name.
And don't forget, if you've entered in this contest, you don't start saying stuff just because you're like, I can't help myself.
So this molecule is not on our receipt paper for the Internet of Things printer. So
I like how if we don't say don't enter in this.
QWERTY Boy 12. It's bisphenol. Bisphenol A. So BPA is as commonly known. So when we release the printer, a lot of people just like to snark and they're like, oh, you know, it's BPA, 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 BPA. If you look on the pages,
that looks like it's a very symmetric, and it looks like a very like a hydrophobic. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's what the deal is. It's slippery, and so it adds slipperiness or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does.
Yeah, it does something to the paper. But anyways, you can order BPA-free paper.
Yeah.
Ta-da! And so that's what we have.
Yeah.
Other places who sell this printer and have it, they don't have BPA-free stuff. So, you know, we think about this thing for you guys. So if you want to support us, we appreciate it. And
don't eat this stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't eat it, even if it's BPA-free. It's not. It's
don't eat receipt paper. So anyways, we decided to, if something's available, we try to do our best. And so it's BPA-free. So that's a trivia question for tonight. All right. I'd like you to maybe show a couple more features of the printer.
Okay.
To grab the cat.
You grab the cat. I'll show this printer. Okay. So we have this really nice glowing green button, and while it's in pause mode, it's turned off. I'll turn this off. So that's the printer off. And then when you turn it back on, it automatically prints out a couple of tweets. It does a DHCP to get an address, and then it like goes and prints something out. So you can see. You're not going to be able to see the print, but
okay. Here we go. And MOSFET has a radiation badge on its head.
What? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
What did you do that for?
Radioactive cat.
Oh man. Not only is he radioactive, but he's covered with bisphenol A or bisphenol A.
No, he's a BPA-free cat, just like
BPA-free,
just like our paper.
But he's radioactive.
But he's completely irradiated.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a site which is cats with things on their head. So that's it. He's just hanging out.
You get alpha particles being emitted.
Yeah. He's Dr. Manhattan. Meow meow. I want to leave this world. I'm tired of all your problems. What? Is that my outside voice? Yeah. All right.
How did you get us to stick to him? Oh, there's a little piece of tape.
What?
Oh, that's so mean. I can't believe you did that. Fortunately, the cat doesn't seem to care.
Dr. Catman. Yeah, that's right. All right.
The cat
thank you very much.
The cat does all our website design.
To George for doing the recording. Thanks for all the show and tell people thanks. Becky, who was in the chat.
Oh,
Phil Burgess. Freak Labs is in there, and all of our friends. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. How old is MOSFET now?
MOSFET? Oh, he's 12 years old.
12 years old. He's in his cat prime.
He knows cat.
Yeah, he knows cat. All right. We'll see everybody.
Cat.
Yeah, Kai Cat. We'll see everybody next
Week.
Yeah,
Next year.
next year. I'm so tired.
Next week we'll be
Next
back.
week, yeah, we'll be back. We have a ton of new things. It's not out yet. Lots of cool stuff. Whew. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go do some work. All right. Here is your moment of Zener.